Alrighty. This audio is not going to be great, but it's okay. I will make do. So, let me go ahead and point this out. The thing is that there are so many other things I thought about talking about. Let's continue to talk about, what happened in the Capitol now. Let's move on from that. The arrests are being made. All the narratives being set up. Oh, it was a gay op. Blah, blah, Antifa actually did it. I don't care about any of that. It doesn't mean anything to me. This has no power whatsoever. Like I say, Proud Boys leader got arrested last week, I think. What's his name? The Dominican dude, I think. But he's arrested. Proud Boys, as far as I know, will probably be heavily investigated by Biden's new cabinet choices for district attorney, for attorney general, and for some of the staff that he displayed yesterday. So they're going to be investigated out the wazoo. There's not going to be anything left. It's the same thing with the National Socialist Movement. It doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't. So there has to be a new resistance to Joe Biden. The cards are stacked against the cards are stacked against us to come up with a resistance to Joe Biden because he is not Trump. So the libs have already gone back to brunch. The money is not there. The amount of people have dwindled to, basically MLs, Marxist Leninists, some 5%, I voted for Joe Biden, but I really don't care for him, Wignats, and other assorted folks. Now, could this potentially grow depending on Joe Biden's policy choices and what he actually does in office? It's a matter of opinion, isn't it? I think that it's going to be a pushing a boulder uphill. But I think that it's important to do that. I think it's important to be those people. We've already seen that Vosh is going to make apologia for Joe Biden as long as he can. He can say, oh, it's atrocious seeing Joe Biden act this way. Yeah, I've seen that. But ultimately, he's not going to be a resistance. There's not, And of course, people are saying we're going to push Joe Biden to the left. That narrative has already died. That narrative is already dead. So we have to be understanding of that and understand where we're going to go from here, which I think is very important. And I say we, maybe it could mean royal we, or just folks that generally disagree with how things are in the United States. I think that we have to be mindful of this, that the money's gone, the personnel are gone, and we're just kind of left with, these new groups to decide. Like I say, Proud Boys, I really don't think are going to exist that long. Patriot Prayer, these are groups that are going to be heavily looked at. There's going to be massive amounts of investigation. We're going to see Gavin McInnes continue to kowtow as much of a conservative as he claims to be. When things really get bad, he's going to bend the knee as hard as he can. And when the Proud Boys are investigated, he is going to be the first one to say, yes, I'll tell you whatever you need. I'll tell you whatever you want. Just don't put me in jail. Please, please, please. And that's what's going to happen to him. I just say that as an off point because we have to be realistic about who's going to be out there. And, to a point, they will, is that there will be unity, is that there is no Donald Trump to complain about. Okay. But there will be mistakes that he makes. And people have to understand that, people have to be there to rationally explain that it doesn't matter whether it's Trump or whether it's Biden. Once again, this whole talk of, you know, now that we have a liberal bourgeois president, now it's easier to create a real left wing movement. I don't see that, but maybe I'll be proven wrong. And so like I say, this is getting it's getting real schizo here, but I do still think though that there is a genuine resistance movement that can be built up, but it will be hounded in the mainstream media as expected. It will be destroyed by libs who will say, no, 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 Joe Biden meant to do that because, we need to fight the DPRK or whatever the case may be. So we're going to see. The first issue, of course, will be Iran, because obviously there's a lot at stake and there's a lot of back and forth going on to say, well, now we're going to do this, with Iran. We still have these B-52s, imaginably. We still have all this potential that we can do and launch big attacks. But yeah, there's a lot of it's a very dicey situation. So yeah, I just choose to move forward. I choose not to live in the past and continue to put my hopes into, hoping for MAGA to come back. No, that's gone. That is gone. We need to move on from that. We need to even move on from the Capitol thing. People are still going to talk about it. The arrests are still going to be made. I don't really care to talk about it necessarily. What happened, happened. It was fun for the day. It was great, fist bumping and all, but now we have to settle in back into the trenches and to see who is really going to be against Joe Biden and who is going to make apologia for him. Like I say, I could have thought this out better, but you know what? I figure I'll put it out and have something. And as always, I'd love to see your comments on this and to say, well, you made a good point here, but maybe you're kind of crap on this point or whatever. I'm always good with some constructive criticism. I'm always great with that. So I welcome it, and I hope that you will enjoy this video and say, oh, he really gave me something to think about. And with that, I say good day, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, Zaijian, Bao Chong, and goodbye.